Welcome back.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh my gosh, I sound like I don't know what. I must be going through puberty.
She sounds like she's going through
I
puberty.
am. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday night OWCP chats with Chris and Gini.
It is great to be back. We have been off for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay, so last week, and I told you guys last week, the reason we missed it is we were literally supposed to be on a flight
So we weren't
to Las
off.
Vegas
We were
for
just like off.
yeah. So that was the reason for that because we understand what's going on with all these unions and now we see all these cancellations, and so we were ready to go to Vegas, and then by the time we figured out we could do chats, we wouldn't have made it on. We would have been on like after 8:15, 8:30. So we said, we'll just do it next week, but we're still doing last week's chats about Q&A. You ask, we answer, and we stump the chumper.
I don't know who a chump is because
I didn't say chump, I said chumper.
whoever that is, I don't know him. Yeah, it's been crazy. The last 3 events that I was set to train at have been canceled.
Yeah.
These are union events, and this isn't me bad mouthing or making fun. It's just this is a real thing that's happening to you guys. You're worried about losing your job, so you're not attending union events, and some of you are being disbanded, like TSA, right? Was disbanded, or like this is just a crazy, bizarre time, and we're kind of picking it up in real time, just like you are, and it's sad and scary, and we can only imagine how you must feel.
And it's sad for us, and it's not even about you being patients. And
most of you are not patients. You're just here like hoping you don't have to be.
Yeah, but I always tell Chris, it's sad because innocent people are losing their jobs, and that sucks.
Well, yes, losing your job, that sucks, like badly, but also the fear of it.
Yeah.
And so, I just couldn't imagine. I remember working for a doctor back in Texas, and I was like the best in the world at what I do. And I was constantly at the end in fear of getting fired.
Yeah.
I was like, why am I getting fired? I'm good at my job. I'm like the best in my state for sure, probably in the whole world or the universe. And I was worried about it. So I can only imagine how you must be feeling. It really sucks. And so, hang in there, keep your head up. I'm going to give you the same sort of public service announcement I've been giving the last several weeks when we've been on. And it's this: I'm not telling you to file work injury claims that are not legit. I'm saying don't wait till after you don't have this job anymore to file your claim.
Right.
If you have a legitimate injury that needs help, file it before you're separated from your job. With all that said, I pray to God you don't get separated. But if you're worried about it, well, then this is a consideration you should be thinking about. You're worried about being separated from your job. Report your legitimate injuries now. If you wait till after the fact, that's probably never going to get accepted. And that's not good for you. So this is what we want you to do. Just if you have a legit injury claim, file it now. Whether you get help or not is irrelevant. There are time frames. You cannot miss the time frame. But one of the unwritten time frames, and I've never even written about it in my books, and I probably should.
Right.
One of the unwritten time frames is after separation from the job. After that, you're going to get denied. It's not a rule. You can be approved, but the chances are you won't be, because they can argue that this happened, tomorrow, not today while you're still employed. So be careful with that. We want you to just be taken care of. I want you to be able to have all your rights as a federal employee. And one of those rights is the right to report a work injury. OSHA said so. And another of those rights is a right to get help.
Yep.
The right to COP, the right to a CA-16, the right to lifetime medical benefits. And those rights pretty much go out the window if you wait till after you're separated from employment. So again, I pray to God you don't get separated from your job. But if you do, the last thing I want you to have is a worry that you won't physically be able to do the next job.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't get help and you couldn't afford it. So just remember that. This is a work comp page. So of course I'm going to talk about work comp. And that's your work comp public service announcement.
Yeah. So I know you guys, a lot of presidents are inviting us, and we appreciate it.
And we want to say yes. We can't wait.
So we are saying yes, but then last minute comes down to it and they have to cancel.
And we understand. We're not mad
at you. We understand. We're not upset. Hopefully next year is a better year where you guys could do your state and national
conventions. Well, it can't be a worse year. This is the worst year I've seen since I've been doing this for 20 years. This is the worst I've ever seen. So I'm hoping for the best. Hope is not a strategy.
Yep.
But at this point, this is what we have. So I'm really pulling for you, and I hope next year is a way better year for you.
Yep. So, with that said, let's get started because I know a lot of you have a lot of questions. All right, here, let me just address this once again. So, a lot of you message me and you message me from Wednesday night chats and ask, "How do I find Wednesday night chats
I
live?"
love this. Can I?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have this this comedian we really like named Chris D'Elia,
Yeah.
D''Elia, and he has this skit that he did on Netflix. You should all watch it. By the way, he's one of the funniest guys I've ever
He
seen,
is.
and I know funny because I'm not one of the funny guys, and I know the funny guys when I see them.
Right.
I'm not one, but he is. We have a selfie with him. That's not the point. He's talking about these girls, and like, where do I park? Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where do I park? And he's talking about like parking on the road to go to somebody's house. And he's like, well, like you're there already. You did it already.
He goes, "You just park
You did it already.
and get out of the car.
You just get out. You did it. All right, look, you're here. You did it already.
Yeah.
You're already here.
The reason that you're not probably finding us on chats is because you're not either one, accepted the invite that I've sent you years ago, two, you're not clicking the follow button. If you don't follow, you will not get notifications that we are live. Just on your regular Facebook page, when you're looking at your friends' stuff, when they post, you see it because you're friends with them. So that's all you have to do. Click the follow button.
And some of you are like, oh yeah, what's in it for you? Nothing. Like literally nothing.
Yeah.
What's in it for us is we don't have to answer the question, how do I find you?
Right.
Because you're here already. You did it already. You know, like Chris D'Elia.
All right. So tonight we're doing Q&A. You ask the questions, we answer the questions.
But it's not Stump the Chump. I don't even know who the chump would be in this scenario.
Me?
Well, no, I would never say you're a chump. Nobody
I'm
would
a
ever call you a chump.
I'm a chumpette.
Nobody would ever say that.
I'm a chumpette.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started. We already got questions. Sonia, how are you?
Hi there.
Sonia, I'm still waiting for you to call me. Okay. She said, "What's up?"
Right now, everybody's like, "What's your cell number?"
Yeah,
We'll all call it 2:00 in the morning.
Sonia said, "What's up, crew?
What's up?
Can a second opinion doctor say you can work without restrictions where your assigned OWCP doctor still says no? What to do when the agency sends you a demand to report to work?"
So can the second opinion doctor do that? Yes. The second opinion doctor can pretty much do whatever they want to do. What your doctor does about it is writes a narrative report that outweighs the second opinion doctor's report. And oftentimes you don't get to see that report till it's too late.
Right.
You want your doctor to write such a freaking great report that the second opinion doctor's report just can't overrule it. That's what it takes. At that point, if the claims examiner agrees with the second opinion doctor, the agency can absolutely write a demand. Now, I'll tell you, and I love that this is live. This cannot be edited. We want you to go back to work, and I'm sure you probably do too. That's not the point. Sometimes second opinion doctors actually have your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
Other times they don't spend 5 minutes with you and they make a determination and they don't even remember your name.
Yeah, and we hear that all the time about second opinion doctors.
So you got to make sure your treating physician can just write the lights out on what's going on with you, because that's how you win in the second opinion game.
Yeah. Victor.
What's up, Victor?
Victor, we get to see you in a couple of weeks.
Can't hardly wait.
And I have some spots for us to go have dinner too. It's going to be fun. Victor says, one of my coworkers used to go to Dr. Dorfman's office in Melbourne, but the driving was crazy, too far for her. Now she's going to the Orlando office. Nothing against Melbourne. Well, they have a right to choose where they want to go.
Yeah, that's right. Everyone can go wherever you want to go. Even if you're going to one of our federal injury centers offices, you can go someplace else.
Yeah.
That's your right. You have every right to go where you want to go. The law said so.
Yeah. Jennifer Schultz. Okay, so this is a long one, so bear with me. She has to explain her story before she asks the questions.
Okay, everyone pay attention.
Rural carrier her have a job offer that says I can work light duty jobs 35 to 40 hours plus a week. I've been working for that for the last year and a half. A few weeks ago, my postmaster significantly cut my hours and job duties because I'm paid under ADHOC, and they can't be any ADHOC hours anymore.
Okay.
Postmaster wants me to sign a new job offer reflecting these cuts. Questions. Hours in new job offer listed variable. I've worked about 12 hours since this happened. OWCP claims examiner said she has no say in whether or not the job offer is suitable. I don't know if I have to sign this thing or still within my 30 days. That's question one. So answer that.
All right. So you only have to sign it if it fits within your restrictions that your doctor wrote on the CA-17. Then you have to. You have to accept whatever that fits within your restrictions. However, let's say your standard job before injury was 40 hours a week, and now they're cutting you down to 20. You can file for LWOP with a CA7 and CA7A for the extra 20 hours and get paid.
Okay. If I do have to sign it, does that mean the hours of OWCP will also be cut?
Yes, and I just said no. You'll get paid for the whatever your pre-injury hours were. You'll get paid for those. If you're super, this is so crazy. Look, if they're just trying to hurt you, it's not going to hurt you because LWOP takes care of you. Don't forget that. You get to be made whole. You didn't ask to be hurt. For them, like their pain is their, and I mean this and I don't mean it seriously, but their air quote pain is that they're paying you for hours you're not working. Your pain is that you have a physical problem that prevents you from working, right? Your pain outweighs theirs. You get paid LWOP when they can't find hours for you to clock in.
Right. Has this happened to anyone else?
Happens to everyone else all the time. You are not alone in this. This is very, very common. What management has to know is that like they're just like shooting themselves in the foot. What they need to do is get you on the clock. Like get some, and I hate to say this because there's a lot of workers here and not supervisors, obviously. But if I'm a supervisor for a federal agency, what I'm trying to get from you is productivity. I'm trying to get you to do something for the hours you're getting paid. What they want to do is cause you pain and make you go home. But what you get to do is go home and get paid. It's causing themselves pain. They're hurting themselves. It's really stupid. They shouldn't do it. They should find every single thing they can get you to do inside your restrictions during the time that you're supposed to work. Instead, they're like, well, we'll show you. They're showing themselves. They're hurting themselves. They're not hurting you. It's frustrating to you, but you're going to get paid LWOP.
I filed grievances useless and plan to file an EEO.
I think you should, and I don't believe it's useless. I understand why you say it. You don't even have to tell me. I've heard all the horror stories. But I think filing grievances are beautiful. I think the word grievance is a beautiful word. I think EEO is a beautiful thing. I think there are labor board charges potentially you could file with the help of your union. But I think you should push back in every way possible because it sounds like to me what you want to do is go to work. And what they want to do is cause you pain, but they're just causing pain on themselves.
Yeah.
They're not hurting you. You're going to get paid LWOP. They're hurting themselves. It's super ridiculous.
I've asked Jason to help me with this, but he won't talk to me till the CPF is approved.
CPF.
Yeah, I don't know what that CPF
All right,
is.
look, I am the nation's leading expert in OWCP, and at this moment, you may have stumped the chump.
Did we stump the chumper?
I said may have. May have. Victor's going to throw me a lifeline. CPF.
Jenna, I was given a limited duty assignment. I was happy to get it, but was also a little concerned about safety. The breakdown of physical requirements didn't include all the duties associated with the job offer, so I asked to take it to my doctor. I go to FIC. I asked for a better breakdown of physical requirements for my doctor, and work is tiptoeing around the physical requirements. How often does this happen? What should I do?
I mean, it happens all the time. What you should do is just make sure your CA-17 is super clear. And I wish I had a better answer, but that is the answer. I have to stop for a second. Jerry Michelle Gatewood is here. Well, hello.
Jerry.
Hello.
I have to say, Jerry was when we started in 2016, I'll never forget, like Jerry was like on our live, probably looking.
My oldest friend.
Yeah,
oldest friend in OWCP. Jerry, I'm so happy you're here. I saw your name pop up on the screen over here, and I have tears in my eyes, actually.
We love her.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. No, they did not stump me, young lady. Don't have too much fun with that. I'm not stumped until there's no way I can get the answer, and I guarantee you that will never happen. You're a funny lady.
Maria Portal. And Maria's been with us
Well,
forever.
yeah, and
Oh my
she's another
gosh. I
day
think
oneer.
just like a day oneer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I just had that conversation regarding someone that was injured on the job. This person thinks they
Love
can
you too.
file after they retire. Oh my heck, I lent this person your books. I do what I can to bring the light to their options.
Well, they
That's all
can.
you can do,
That's right,
obviously.
and they can file after retirement. Let's be very clear. There's no rule against it. I just have more experience than everybody else combined, and I've never seen people's claims get accepted after retirement. You got to report prior to retirement if you want to have a shot at winning. And I'm a winner.
Sonia
I like to win, and that's how you do it.
Sonia says, if you've been out because the agency refused to accommodate my restrictions, a complete 24.99, can I file for disability while I'm out but still getting paid by OWCP?
You can file for disability, but as soon as you are approved for disability, you cannot double dip. You can't receive disability payments and OWCP payments at the same time.
Miss Ramadan, what can be done if there is an accepted stress claim since April 2024 that states the need to be moved to a different unit? Agency has not offered me any options. I'm now facing proposed removal from the federal service.
Well,
Oh,
their responsibility by rule is to find a job that can suit you based on your restrictions, regardless of their physical or mental. And when I use the word mental, I swear to God, I don't mean anything negative by that. Some people are like, mental, why do you say that? I don't know a better word. I don't mean anything bad by it.
and she said the reason for removal is AWOL.
Well, AWOL happens when you are not at work and your doctor says you can be at work. You're not an AWOL if your doctor takes you off work and you have an accepted claim. You need an accepted claim and your doctor takes you off of work. What I see too often is the doctor, your claim is accepted. The doctor says you can go back limited, but people don't go. Now they're against doctor's orders, and that is AWOL. So be careful with that.
Victor, be careful. In USPS, when you've used 80 hours of LWOP, each employee loses 8 hours of annual leave for every 80 hours of LWOP. I'm going to read that again. Be careful in USPS when you've used 80 hours of LWOP. Each employee loses 8 hours of annual leave for every 80 hours of LWOP. And he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, and so there is a consequence to everything in OWCP. I always say it's not about fair. Fair was not written into the rules. However, you have to take care of yourself medically and so forth. And you got to just know there's a downside.
Yeah.
But there are rules that protect you. You can do what you have to do.
Yep.
And management tries to push you to do things that are not in your best interest, and we don't want that.
Jennifer said, change of physician form. Did you say something about that?
I haven't, but you can request a change of treating doctor for sure. And
Yeah.
I have a form for that on breakingowcp.com. You can go just download it. It's free.
Can't thank you. This is Jennifer. Can't thank you enough for your answers, but thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I'm glad you're here.
Sonia got 2 EEOCs pending related to disability harassment, refused to accommodate work, and disbar treatment. Just won one with damages, so I got time.
There we go. Winning.
If you don't know Sonia, you
Winning.
stay away from her. She will win.
Yeah.
She will.
Or don't stay away from her. Go figure out how to win.
Laura Wilson, on OWCP since 2017, receiving comp and SSDI. If I switch to disability retirement, which I have approved already, is it wise to switch? Do I qualify for a scheduled loss of use? Having difficulty finding a doctor in my area.
Okay, so this is a complicated question, Laura. I'm going to do some explanation so other people understand it. SSDI is Social Security disability, okay? And federal disability is federal disability. These are not the same thing. Although you have to apply for Social Security to get federal, they're not the same.
Hold on. She said, I received both SSDI and comp. They reduced the SSDI payments according to comp payments.
No, I get it. Okay. But the question was, what should I do? Well, you have to figure out what's best for you because it's a financial decision. When you're on disability, you get 60% of your income the first year, 40% every year thereafter until retirement. And Social Security is Social Security. And I'm not an expert in that. It's not Stump the Chump. It's not an OWCP thing. It's Social Security. I'm not an expert there. but I don't know the calculation is the point. I do know the calculation for federal disability. So you have to decide which one is better for you. But nothing affects your ability to get a schedule award, which is what you asked. A schedule award is something you can get after your doctor determines you're at maximum medical improvement, which is a medical determination. So you cannot receive OWCP income and schedule award income at the same time. But if you're on Social Security or disability, those are not OWCP. So you can receive disability or Social Security and schedule award at the same time. As far as federal disability or Social Security goes, you have to decide which of those is best for you. It's a personal decision. I'm not passing the buck. I'm just saying I can't tell you how to think about your money.
And if you're looking for offices, just go to federalinjurycenters.com, click locations.
And if you hate federal injury centers and
Yeah.
you think like the idea of going to one is like really bad, just Google it.
Yeah.
OWCP injury doctor in your city and state, and you'll find somebody that cares about you or not. And then you can come back to us.
Sonia said, who is your OWCP lawyer? So we don't have an OWCP lawyer.
We have friends who are, but we don't have one. If you want to know something about that, send us a private message by Facebook, and we'll give you a choice of 2 or 3 that you can choose from. But we don't have one.
Like our company doesn't.
Some of you are going to be
have
like, what do you mean? I'm telling you, we don't have one that we recommend over another, because there are some, we've realized that there are several that we really love.
Yeah. TT, my doctor changed my restrictions, but Postmaster said they have no work for me while they're waiting for a new $24.99.
Yeah.
Refused to give me that in writing. My union said I'm okay to be on LWOP. Do I still need to go in every day still to prove I'm trying?
So what it sounds like is somebody from management said you have to come in every day to prove you're trying. That's not in the rules. That's just BS. And I'm being nice tonight, so I'm using the letters instead of the words. BS. What you need is your doctor, is assuming your claim's accepted. If it's not accepted, you have a different set of problems. But assuming your claim's accepted, your doctor has to write you off and say, look, this person could go to work, meaning you're this person, but they won't let her go to work. And so I have no choice but to take her out of work. And then you just get paid LWOP.
Tammy, hello.
What's up, Tammy?
Tammy's been with us forever, too. She's in the category with Maria and Jerry. This is on Mike.
Is this Tammy Newman?
Yep.
Hold on, Tammy Newman. Just kidding.
You're so dorky.
Hi, Tammy.
Maria from Massachusetts. And we miss you, Maria. Sonia, 100%. There is a different code that the agency uses. Code number 49 is OWCP LWOP, and those hours don't count against your retirement.
Okay.
So I'll read that again so you guys understand. There is a different code that the agency uses. Code number 49 is OWCP LWOP, and those hours are not counted against your retirement.
Okay, so I assume that's true, but now I'm thinking back to what Victor just said, that 8 hours out of every 80. So I'm not sure the answer because I'm not a USPS employee.
Sonia,
this is still not stumping the chump.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not OWCP. I mean, a little bit, but we're not stumping me tonight. But I think maybe Sonia and Victor could get together.
Yeah, Sonia, Victor, if you're on, reach out to Sonia. She's like a U in NAFI.
Yeah.
So you guys can get together and maybe
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And Sonia, Victor is awesome. He's one of us.
Yeah.
He's a friend of you and me. So you guys should talk about that and see what that is.
Oh, Jennifer said CPF, change of treating physician form. That's a good little abbreviation.
Okay, hold on. Can everyone see the look on my face? I did not get stumped. That's not a real abbreviation. That's just letters that somebody said. Still not stumped. I'm still batting 1,000.
Camilla Saylor. I'm currently out on OWCP. The doctor said I need to have back surgery to stop the nerve pain in my legs, but that's not something I want to do right now. How do I get an impairment rating without having surgery?
Oh, I love this question. All right. You don't have to accept any surgery. So if a doctor says, if you have surgery, you'll get better, you can say, yeah, but I'm scared of, I don't know, dying under anesthesia or whatever. You can refuse surgery.
You can.
At which point, I'm serious. At which point the doctor can say, all right, well, then you're at MMI because you're never going to get better than you are now unless you have surgery. But I refuse surgery. Okay, then you're at MMI right now, which makes you, by definition, eligible for an impairment rating, which makes you eligible for a schedule award.
Yeah.
You don't have to do surgery. Now, look, I'm just saying, look, I don't tell you how to make medical decisions for your own personal life, but I love anesthesia. I'm going to get surgery.
See, like there's me. If
The
I
last
had,
time I was under anesthesia, I woke up and I had a dream that I was a billionaire.
yeah.
This is true. And I told the nurse, put me back. So maybe it's not for you. It is for me. If you're somebody that hates it, you're at MMI right now.
And don't think we're saying this because you're a federal employee. I wouldn't get back surgery.
I'm not a federal employee and I want anesthesia.
I don't want back surgery. So you can definitely refuse surgery. There's
100%.
No one can tell you have to have surgery. You don't need to.
You are part of the decision-making team.
Yeah.
You're not a victim of the doctor. You get to say no.
Jerry said, just be prepared for a period of time of no pay.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
While they recalculate your retirement from the day you switch to disability retirement. OPM has to be notified by Department of Labor that your OWCP pay has stopped. Okay, guys? So again, just be prepared for a period of time of no pay while they recalculate your retirement from the day you switch to disability retirement. OPM has to be notified by Department of Labor that your OWCP payment has stopped.
Let's be very clear. She's not saying opium.
OPM.
OPM.
They know.
Office of Personnel. No, I think it's funny. Opium. Made me think of the movie Tombstone.
Oh my gosh.
The girlfriend was on opium. It's Office of Personnel Management.
And I'm telling you guys right now, if Jerry, Victor, Sonia, or Maria say stuff on here,
it's a thing.
Actually true.
Take it to the bank.
These guys have been with us, and their positions inside within USPS, they're up there.
Yeah.
So if they're commenting on here, they know what they're talking about. We don't know your manuals. We only know like chapter 30 on OWCP. That's it. Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
Speak for yourself.
Okay. You don't know anything either. Lisa Brister. Hello.
Hello, Lisa.
If you use your leave while out on OWCP, if so, I'm being told I can't get my leave back.
No, it's called leave buyback. It's a CA7B. You can get it back. It's not free, but to say you can't get it back is not true. Why would there be a leave buyback form? Of course you can get it back.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Sonia says, I advise that you go to your time card and make sure the supervisor is inputting number 049. If not, file a grievance.
Yeah, I agree with file a grievance. And I also agree that supervisors may be dummies sometimes and make mistakes. So it is your responsibility to double check everything because, hey, it's your money. So double check it. Just don't make me talk bad about supervisors tonight. Just double check them.
Yeah. Victor, light duty and limited duty is different.
Correct.
Light duty is an injury out of work, and limited duty is an injury while working.
An injury or sickness, but he is 100% correct.
Light duty and limited duty is different. A lot of you think, because I get your messages, a lot of you think it's the same thing, but it's not.
So check it out. Let's say you're playing basketball on the weekend, you twist your ankle. That's light duty. But you're carrying the mail and you step off a curb and twist your ankle. That's limited duty. Because one is work, one is not work.
Jennifer Schultz said, is there a time limit to file CA7s and CA7As?
You need to get your stuff in within a year of your claim being accepted.
And don't wait till the last minute because
why would you wait a year? Like, it's your money. Yeah, don't wait.
Just do it on the week. Just keep doing them weekly. It's until your claim gets accepted. And remember, you cannot file CA7s until your claim is accepted.
Well, you can file them, but you're not getting paid.
Yeah, because here's what happened, and we know this. A lot of you wind up, as soon as you start getting treatment from wherever, you start filing your CA7s, and then you message and say,
I got denied.
I got denied. They're not paying me. That's because your claim isn't accepted.
Yeah, until your claim's accepted, you have no official OWCP benefits. So I'm telling you, you need to apply within a year of your claim being accepted. But the truth is, you should start filling your forms out today in anticipation of your claim getting accepted, and then immediately file them.
Yep.
Immediately, 100%, like right away. Don't wait. And this is a teaching point because this is a teaching page, right? Um, when it comes to your money, I don't want you to wonder, I wonder how long I have. What I want you to think is, how fast can I get it in? This is your money. It's a great question. I'm not ridiculing or making fun. This is a teaching point. All of you, get it in today. The soonest possible
Yeah.
time to do anything is now.
Jennifer said, dude, I swear CPF came from your breaking OWCP website. LOL, but I could be crazy. Did you say that? And you probably don't remember? Maybe you did.
There's no chance. There's no look. I wrote everything I wrote. I think
Maybe.
we didn't stump the chump tonight. Is all I'm saying.
I think you did.
Moving on.
Jerry, you're with me. Victor says,
I think it's funny when everyone gangs up on me. I love that. I think it's super funny. I don't know why I do, but I love it. So just keep it coming. I think it's funny, but no is the answer.
Victor, USPS employees on light duty, a 40-hour is not guaranteed. Limited duty is 40 hours is guaranteed. Hear this again.
Well, look, let me put it a different
Light
way.
duty is not 40 hours. Yeah. Limited duty is 40 hours guaranteed.
So the point is, when it's work related, you have rights. When it's non-work related injury, you don't have the same rights. That's just how it is. That's the law.
Yeah, you'll see some of our doctors' offices on here. They're letting you know that they're there. You can give them a call. So if you're wondering, that's not outside vendors coming in. It's actually some of our offices on here.
Yeah, we don't allow outsiders because I can't vouch for the quality of their work, but I know how our guys do. You do what you want with them. When they're here, you're like, oh, hey, that's a Federal Injury Center's doc. Yeah. Trained by Chris. Yeah. But you have the right to choose your own doctor, and we really respect that. So just understand that.
Terry, this is a good question. I know you guys did not work for USPS. We have not worked for any federal agency, period.
No.
My background is an RN. I have a medical background. I have a marketing background. I have a law background from marketing. And Chris has a lot of healthcare background. That's what his degree is in.
Healthcare and management.
So she said, how did you guys get into this business? Just curious.
Who asked that?
Terry. She's from New York.
So Terry, I love that question. I got into this business by accident. I was managing the world's largest federal workers' comp practice in the known universe. But it only became that after the state of Texas crushed workers' comp for doctors. And I don't lose. And so I said, let me find another thing. And I found federal workers' comp. My boss at the time said, that sucks. We're not doing that. And I said, yeah, but people need help. So let's figure it out. And we did. We became the largest federal workers' comp practice in the world from Texas. And then I left there in 2015 after 21 years. And I said, look, people need help. We're only doing it in the Dallas Metroplex. Let's do it all around the country. And so we got some business partners who are great. I met her, and she taught me how to get to more of you. And that's how we are here right now. Just by chance.
Yeah. So
truthfully, just by chance. The whole thing was by chance. I could have done anything.
Yeah.
Actually.
So like when we're giving you certain medical advice, it's only from what we know in our backgrounds.
It's not medical advice.
It's
not medical advice.
No,
we're not
doctors.
I
said advice. I've been a nurse, worked in a hospital, worked for primary care. I've worked for an attorney. So, I mean, that's why I'm able to say certain things. He's been in it for 21 years plus now, almost 30.
I've been in it longer than anybody else. And, it was just by chance.
Yeah.
I have a high aptitude. I could do pretty much anything and be really good at it. But this gives purpose to what I do because I get to save lives and I love helping everybody. And so it's I'm very passionate about it.
Yeah. Sometimes I wish I can do more. And he tells me you can't. I mean, obviously I can't.
I mean, she can, but go get a doctor.
I feel for you because I've dealt with patients my entire adult life since I've graduated. That's all I know.
So she's an RN.
Yeah.
Retired.
To that, yeah.
She was a cheerleader at the University of Utah and doesn't know what a first down is, but she knows how to take a blood pressure and draw blood and give injections. So like she knows all that stuff. She gets a lot of healthcare things. And it's really interesting because like I get the business side and I'm an OWCP expert. I'm the OWCP expert, but she has a lot of healthcare knowledge. And so it's really interesting for me to bounce ideas off of her and her tell me, like, actually, this is what's happening in this person's life right now. That's why we make such a good team. While I have two business partners, this partner gives me the best insight into how to help you. That's how we got here.
Yeah. And we didn't know each other.
Not at all. And I blew her off for like 6 months.
We worked for the same. It's so funny because I left PI.
That means personal injury.
Personal injury. Yeah. I left the law field. Chris left Dallas, and we happened to work for the same company in Fort Lauderdale, and that's how we met. But he was my boss, actually.
Okay,
well, not my boss.
I was never her boss. So to be the boss, you have to care about being it. I didn't. I didn't want to be anybody's boss. I had already managed 72 employees for 21 years. I didn't want to manage anybody, including myself or my kids. And then I met her, and I didn't really meet her. My business partner said, talk to her. And I was like, no.
So we're so thankful for Joe.
Yeah. But I didn't want to meet her until finally I saw her picture on Facebook. I was like, oh, crap, I want to meet her. And it turns out she also had a brain to go with the beauty, which was cool because I like brains. And now I'm just like running on. But
okay, be quiet.
I think it's fun for people to know how this happened.
But it's funny because just today, he just said he was running the largest federal work comp practice in Dallas, Texas, which is true. Here's the
largest federal work comp practice in the known universe.
In the known universe, and which is true. But it's so funny, and I thought about this just this afternoon. I spaced out and I thought, how many other competitors, let's say, have been put on, now are out there because of what he did just in Dallas.
No, I've taught,
it's crazy.
I've taught dozens of my competitors to do what I do, and I'm super proud of it.
Yeah.
Because of teaching my competitors to do what I do, you have more help. I don't care. I'm happy you have help. I love this. I think it's really great. One funny story, and then we'll get back to the work comp business. So the ex-boss that she worked for and the one that I worked for had the same birthday.
Same birthday, same personality.
No. You're gonna give it away. Just hang on.
Same demeanor.
It's really interesting. And they were both super smart guys, like both of them. You cannot badmouth their intelligence. They're highly intelligent humans. I never knew her boss. She never knew mine, but she explained hers. I explained mine. I was like, man,
they're twins.
We both worked for the same guy. And we found out they had the same birthday, and they were both brilliant. Okay. And then what's really freaky is I had the same birthday as both of those guys.
Oh, brother, what am I getting myself?
We all have the same birthday. And so, like, I'm not those guys, but it's interesting, like the IQ level. I'm not saying mine's high. That's for other people to say, and they do it all the time. But those two have a very high IQ and have the same birthday.
My ex-boss definitely does. He is a very prominent PI attorney in Tampa. Well, now I'm in Florida now.
And with my IQ, I mean, it's not that I have the largest federal workers' comp practice in the known universe. Whatever,
Maria said, "Yay, Joe!" Of course, you're going to say that. Anyways,
right, let's get back to business.
Cindy Adams. Fun. So Terry, that's your answer.
That's a long answer, but you asked for it, Terry.
That's how federal injury centers and how we got started doing all this.
And now we have 4 sons and 2 dogs all together.
Yep. Cindy Adamson. So how do you get the injury centers to help find the right doctor for your injuries when you can't find one yourself? So our offices has the whole staff. You just have to go to the website and just choose whatever doctor is closest to you if you want to go there. You don't have to.
Go to Google and search OWCP injury doctor in your city and state. If you want to go someplace else, you can. Just remember to come back here for the help you need, because that's what we do.
Yeah. So yes, our doctors in our 65 plus offices knows exactly how to do this, knows exactly how to write the narratives, knows exactly how to do the paperwork. If they need to refer you out to a specialist, they will. If you need to be referred out for x-rays, MRIs, whatever, they do all of that. And that's our offices. We cannot speak for outside of our offices.
I can. They suck. Usually. 14% of federal employees have accepted claims. For us, it's more than 95%. Yeah. So do the rest of them suck? Yeah. 14% sucks.
Yeah. If you ask, awful. When we just had our FIC convention and Chris asked some of our doctors, what is your return to work rate? And they'll be able to tell you what their return to work rate is and how many claims, what the percentage is.
Greater than 95%.
Yeah.
We go back to work, we get claims accepted.
This is what we do.
Everyone else can't say that.
We're not saying that we don't get denials. Sometimes we do.
We just never quit. We never give up.
I think I can speak for almost all the franchisees on the second round. It normally gets accepted if it's been denied.
or third, but we never give
but
up.
we
All right.
don't. Yeah.
Next question.
TT. So
TT.
I'm accepted not getting better. Got OWCP second opinion who agreed I am permanently injured. So if I do MMI and get a schedule award, then what? Do I still try to get an offer position or stay on LWAP? I guess I'm confused. And it's a confusing thing.
It is. So you can get your schedule award. You can receive all the money. Your agency has the option to give you a permanent limited duty assignment. You can have that. Or the other option is you can go on disability. If you go on disability by year 2, you're going to get 40% of your income. You can still get your schedule award money. But if you're on disability, the other option you have is you can also get another non federal job at the same time that could pay you up to 80% of your previous income. So, technically speaking, a person with an accepted claim who gets a schedule award could get their schedule award money, go on disability. And I'm not saying I want you to do this, you're asking a hypothetical. They could get their schedule award money, go on disability, receive by year 2 40% of their previous income, get a job at Subway and make the other 80% of their income. And so now they got their schedule award money and 120% of their previous income. This is what's possible.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you should do it. I don't have an opinion. I'm just saying it's what's possible, just to answer the question.
So TT, you have to have your claim accepted. You're going to get to MMI, maximum medical improvement. Then you file for your schedule award, and you can still get therapy or treatment even after.
Yeah, you have lifetime medical
lifetime
benefits.
Yeah.
Once your claim is accepted, for the rest of your life, you can get treatment for that accepted work injury. And you have until death to get an impairment rating and a schedule award. So there's no cutoff for that. Just stay alive, right? Long enough to file for it. I hope that answered the question adequately. I think it did.
Terry, I know we met you. That's why I told Chris she's in New York. I remember where you're from. I remember we meeting you at the open house at Dr. Malemi's office. I won't forget. I don't forget a face and a name. So yeah.
I remember too. We had a long talk.
Yeah. Susan Walker, no light duty for Rollcraft. Yes, you are absolutely right. When Victor was talking about that, he was talking about
but it's
all
limited
the
duty.
others.
We're not talking about light. We're talking about limited. But
Yeah.
when they don't allow you to work, then your documentation for LWAP is they won't let me work.
Yeah. Denise, I'm currently under FMLA and want to get a CA2 started. Calling FIC, is this the correct first step? Correct?
Well, I don't know. I mean, calling FIC is a step. Calling any doctor is a good first step. That's what I would say.
Well, your first step is to file your CA2.
Well, not necessarily.
You should. Do it like Chris says, and everybody knows. When do you do it, Chris? When?
Now.
But
my point is the reason sometimes people on a CA2, the reason they might see a doctor first is they're not sure if it's work related because they've been dealing with this thing and they don't know, did this happen at work or didn't it? That might be a reason to go to a doctor first to get confirmation it's work related if you're not sure. If you're sure, go to ecomp.dol.gov and file your CA2 and go to the doctor. I'm just being very, very detailed that you might not be sure if it's work related. If you're not, go talk to the doctor. If you are, file your claim and go to the doctor.
Right.
Very, very important that you're sure.
Cindy, can you refer an orthopedic doctor for me in California? Unfortunately, we don't refer to anybody or anything. What you need to do is here's what happens. You go to the emergency room and they give you your consultation discharge notes and it says follow up with an orthopedic surgeon. In this case, you need to go to a DOL doctor first and then have him refer you out. But we don't have we don't have specialists in our team. Our doctor's offices have made relationships with specialists and they are the ones that refer you out.
Yeah, and to be very, very clear, we don't refer to anybody, including our own doctors.
Yeah.
We don't make referrals. This is Federal Injury Center's Wednesday night OWCP chats with Chris and Gini, breaking OWCP with Chris and Gini. We're not a referral service. So if you ask us, can you recommend somebody? The answer is no. But Google's a really good resource. Our website is a great resource, but you have to choose it.
Yeah.
We want you to choose your own doctor. It's your right as a federal employee. We respect that and we honor it. And so you choose. You know how to find us if you want to, but we don't make referrals.
Yeah. So the only referrals we make is say, go to federalinjurycenters.com, click locations. It's your choice. That's all we can say.
That's not a referral.
Well, I'm just saying.
It's not a referral.
I know, but I'm saying.
It's a recommendation.
Recommendation.
Okay.
Maria, love your story. I love my story too. Jerry.
Thank you, Maria.
You both hit the jackpot when you met, and now, so have we. Aw, Jerry.
You know what? That's true.
I love you.
You know, when you weigh out and like you rank it, like who hit the jackpot the best, clearly it was her. But I also hit a jackpot.
What freaking jackpot did you hit?
I mean, I met you. That was good.
Okay.
That was
Okay.
We have dogs now.
Aw, Jennifer said, thank goodness for the two of you. Thank you,
Jennifer. We appreciate it. I'm just playing. Look, she's obviously the better half. People say, like, who's the better half? It's her, clearly. So everything I'm saying is just BS.
Miss Ramadan said, I
don't get stumped.
I have 2 EEOCs open. I'm so exhausted from everything. All right.
It's exhausting.
What I'd like you to do, and if Jerry and Victor are on here, can you please reach out to her, or you reach out to Victor Sanchez or Jerry Gatewood? They'll be able to talk you through this. Okay, Miss Ramadan. So if Victor, Jerry, if you're on here, can you just reach out to her, or again, reach out to them? Yeah.
Thank you for your help.
Victor, mangoes lemon drop, just saying. I don't know what you're freaking talking about.
Sonia said, Chris, can you refer me a good bottle, dark and white? Yes, I can.
Dark and white what?
Dark and white. A good bottle. Yes, I can. So dark, I recommend...
Wait, we don't refer.
I recommend Blanton's bourbon. That's my dark. White, I have no recommendation whatsoever. However, she likes Grey Goose.
I'm a Grey Goose girl. I can't have anything else.
Everything else gives her a headache.
Everything gives me a nasty migraine or tension headache. So I can only drink Grey Goose.
But why are we talking about dark and white?
Yeah, Sonia. Oh, is it because of... So I'm white.
And I'm red. And yes, Jerry is rural. We know Jerry.
Yeah.
I know who you are.
Jennifer.
I still remember the first time I ever met her. I remember where I was standing the first time I ever saw her.
And I was so jealous because he went without me for something.
And I remember the elevator that her and her man got into to leave me, and I never saw her again in person. But until we were in Dallas at the Grapevine Hotel.
Right. And I still wasn't there for that.
Well, that was your fault. But I remember I got to spend a lot of time with her that night.
I had little kids at the time.
I don't forget that.
Jerry, when he told me that you drove hours to go meet him, it literally touched my heart. But then I was jealous because I was like, well, what the heck happened to me? I didn't get to meet her. I still haven't met her, but we're so close with her, even though I didn't meet her.
We should go to Virginia.
Jerry, invite us to Virginia.
I just invited us.
Jennifer said, oh, I thought of another question. If one has worked more hours than they did before an injury, can that person request a redo for lost wages?
Can that person do it? Yes. That was easy.
There's nothing else?
Can you? Yes, of course.
Oh my gosh, did I burp into the mic?
That was her.
Oh my gosh, I'm so humiliated. Oh my God. Sorry.
Greatest hits.
TT. I'm going on 3 years. Injured, took a year to get the surgery. So that sucks, especially if you needed surgery right away.
Yeah.
See, like our doctors, what they normally do, you come in, you get seen, they give you a treatment plan, and they're ready to send you out for an MRI. As soon as they get that MRI, they're ready to refer you out to a specialist. You know, most of the time it's an orthopedic specialist.
That's because they have a network of doctors they work with, which is really exciting. And
again, we can't speak for outside of FIC, who they refer to, but this is how our doctors work. We tell them, go out and make relationships with specialists because you're going to have patients that are going to need specialists, and this is what they do.
But referrals to other doctors are medical decisions, and we just can't get involved in that. We're not doctors.
Debbie, I went to Cleveland finally to get a schedule award rating. It was good experience, and now I'm waiting for my rating. Well, that's great.
Dr. O'Reilly.
Dr. O'Reilly, yeah.
Oh, I just used bad words. Badass. Oh. Your new office in Dallas is fantastic. Thank you, Christine. Appreciate that. Dr. Arcoleo is there with Christy, and they partnered up, and he's incredible. She is smart to work with him, and we only hear good things about her and her office. So I'm glad that you're saying the same thing.
Can you stop?
No, I'm reading that thing.
Don't read it. I'm not there yet.
Okay.
Victor, Wednesday night OWCP chats with Chris and Gini. Send her my email. Oh, Miss Ramadan,
Yeah.
if you're still on here, that's Victor that you need to reach out. And Jerry Gatewood, if you have any questions, she is a roll carrier and Victor is a APW clerk.
So you're not going to ask this. Jenna said, "Am I the only one that likes wild turkey bourbon?" Sorry, not a comp question. No, Jenna, you're not. So wild turkey is interesting. I like it, but there's another, I forget what it is, but there's another one that I like a lot that is wild turkey, but it's not like my go-to. But wild turkey is an interesting bourbon. I like it. I don't know to put it over ice or add Coke or Diet Coke. I never know what to do with it, but it's not bad. I like it.
So Jenna, by May, sometime in May, I'm actually gonna launch a podcast with Chris. He's gonna be talking about bourbon because he's become fond of it because of my brother-in-law. My Chris's brother has exposed him to bourbon. Shout out to Brad.
Rare breed, yes.
So he's gotten into bourbon and he loves it. And we go to bourbon distilleries, and he likes to learn. We have a lot of friends that drink bourbon, and he gets in contact with them. And I know all of you guys on my personal page, when you see me post pictures, they're like, what is he drinking today? So I told him, everybody's so curious about what kind of bourbon, and there's a lot of history behind bourbon since we've learned it since going to distilleries.
Yeah.
I don't drink bourbon for crap.
She sipped it.
I literally take my tongue and stick it into the glass when we go to the distillery. I die, and then I pass it on to him.
And so I don't.
We will be launching a podcast, and the podcast will be based on bourbon, cigars, and everything else.
Yeah.
So that's really coming soon in May.
I like bourbon. I like cigars. I drive a Jeep. I have a German Shepherd who's vicious. I like man things. It's really important to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know how manly I am, but I like man things.
He's manly.
I like man things. It's fun for me. I enjoy it.
He likes to blow stuff up. He likes to shoot things.
I do.
Like hogs.
I do like hunting.
Which he will be going to
next week.
We're a part of Black Diamond Club. It's a coaching for business. And so next week he gets to go for a couple of days, and he gets to be with all the guys blowing stuff up, shooting hogs, riding in.
Somebody brings tannerite and we shoot.
Yeah, they drink a lot of bourbon. So it's really fun for him to go. Plus they do, he learns stuff about business, and we use that.
I'm there with a bunch of doctors, and these are friends of mine too. And we get together and solve each other's problems. And so
I'm just
probably
letting you guys
have a problem they're going to help me solve.
Yeah. If you're not following me on my Sarojini Helms, that's my personal page. I'm going to be posting when this podcast is going up. It's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be raw. Just letting y'all know. It's going to be super raw. We're going to have guests on
Wednesday night chats based on that podcast. Please don't ditch us because of whatever I say there.
We're going to have guests. We're going to have audience like you guys coming on talking about your favorite bourbon and cigars. So it's going to be fun. So keep an eye out for that. It's happening in May.
I'm worried I'm going to offend a lot of people.
It's not about offending people. Just a lot of Karens and Darrens, and they just don't need to be on.
Not in our audience.
No, not in this. I'm talking about the soon to come podcast.
They're out there.
And we will be doing this podcast live, just like we are doing chats right now, where you're going to see us. Plus, it'll be streaming on air.
Not going to be able to hide who Chris is.
Yeah. Terry said, "Wow, when federal employees get injured on or off the job, there's no one there to help them through this tedious, complicated process, union including. Thank God for you guys. I passed the word on about you guys when needed to someone." Terry, that is like the most humbling thing that you guys ever do. When you guys share, when you guys tell your friends to come on here and tell your injured coworkers, that is like the most humbling thing for us. And we so appreciate it. Like at the end of the year, we're in tears because we found out that, was it last year or this year? We had 12 million views. Mind you, there's 2.8
No, that
federal.
was in 6 months.
Oh, in the last 6 months. So it happened half of last year. But it's like 12 million views. 38,000 of you follow us.
That's a clue.
On social media.
Yeah.
And all we're doing is educating and training you guys. And I can't believe we went from, I remember the day we first started, we had 3 people, and those 3 people sat there, and then we grew to 8. I'll never forget those 2 numbers. And Chris didn't even want to do this. And I told him,
I thought we were wasting time.
I told him, let's just give it a try because Facebook Live is a new thing. And
that was
here
2016.
we are. Here we are with 12 million views in 6 months and 38,000 of you that follow us across our social media pages. It's very humbling to us because we're just everyday people, everyday parents, just, like we're
Yeah.
just everyday, just like you are. We're not famous and we don't consider ourselves famous. And
I'm
it's,
a little famous.
and it's, and it's cute when we do go to open houses that you guys are like, oh my God, that's Chris and Genie. Or like, I'll message when you guys message and you're like, oh my God, are you the girl that's on chats? You're actually messaging? Yeah, it's me. I don't look at it like, oh, that's just a federal employee. I look at it as we're helping somebody
Yeah.
get better.
Her and the other guy. And,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm the other guy. When this whole thing started, I was going to union meetings, local union meetings where like 12 people show up. And by the way, you show up to your meetings,
Yes,
just
please. Get out.
go.
Yeah,
Like
go.
100 of you at least should be at every meeting. How are you getting the information? But anyways, I was going to meetings where like 12 people would show up. And she said, you have something really big to say. Why don't we do it bigger? Let's do Facebook Live. Like, who's going to come here and watch me talk about workers' comp? How boring. 12 million in 6 months.
Yeah.
So I was wrong. That'll be the only time you ever hear it. Don't record that. Don't bookmark this. I probably
This is
actually
going to be
wasn't
live
wrong.
on our
No,
podcast.
I
He's
probably
saying
wasn't wrong. Like somebody else probably said that, not me. Even just then, that was probably somebody else that
it.
said
It was
it.
probably Victor.
Even Victor knows I wasn't wrong. Anyways, thank you all for being here.
TT, I have another question. You can ask. This is what tonight is all about. So, comp required I sue the homeowner where I was injured to pay them back when the
Yeah.
lawsuit is finished.
Right.
So, if I take a schedule award, do you know if that will have to be part of that?
No. So the rule is that when there's a third party claim, you have to pursue, air quote, pursue the third party. You don't have to win even. You just have to
Right.
try. So let's say you pursue the third party and lose, or you pursue the third party and they don't have any insurance and you lose, or there's just no coverage or whatever. You pursued the third party.
Right.
You did your part. OWCP is still going to pay everything. They are not going to touch your schedule award.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Debbie, it took comp a year to okay a surgery for me as well. Sad we get treated so bad after working your butt off. I know. Here's one of the reasons why it takes so long. The doctor that you're going to currently probably doesn't know how to write that in the narrative so that could happen.
Well, let me say it a different way, a little more just like pointed. Most denied claims are the doctor's fault.
I didn't want to say that, but
Our doctors right now are listening, and they know that's my position.
they know, yeah.
That's why we get 95% plus claims approved. The other 5%, we're just waiting around and seeing what they're going to do next, and we never give up. Most doctors give up after the first denial. We never give up, ever. That's why we're at 95% plus. Most denials are the fault of the doctor.
Yeah.
That includes our doctors. If we get a denial, we did a bad job, go again and fix it.
But again, because FIC has built relationships with specialists, it is an easy transition for them to refer you out to whatever specialist you need.
Yeah, like Dr. Lee here in the Tampa area, he's got this massive network of doctors he can refer to. He's got MRI facilities he can refer to. We can get all the workup we need in like 2 days.
Yeah.
And most places don't have that. And these doctors, this network of people he's built, accept OWCP and will not take your money.
Yeah.
Like they'll just wait to get paid once the claim gets accepted. So most places don't have networks like that. Our franchise doctors have built these networks to help you. That has nothing to do with me and her.
Yeah, we've just trained them to do so because it's so easy.
So they just go do it.
They come you guys go into the offices. I'm talking about our offices, and you need a pulmonologist, a dentist, an eye doctor, orthopedic
the most
surgery.
Things, like you can't even see it coming.
A surgeon, just whatever, even general surgery or a neurologist, whatever it is you need. We've told them these are the specialists you need to build relationships with because you're going to need it for the current patients.
So guys like Dr. Lee, Dr. Dorfman on the East Coast of Florida, they're like, all right, cool. They just go build a network of doctors that will accept their referrals and not take your money. The point is, most places won't do that. Federal Injury Center's doctors do. We're just like super motivated to make your life easier.
So whenever we bring on a doctor after they've been seeing patients for a little bit, we start telling them, now is your time to go out and build relationships with specialists because your patients are going to need it.
Yeah, look at Steflik and Corbin over on the East Coast too, like doing the same thing, and they're
Yep.
new. So most places don't do that. It's just kind of in our DNA.
Yep. TT. And thank you guys so much. You're amazing. Aw.
Thank you so much for saying
Victor
that.
said, I'll be there.
Damn right you will.
Beware.
Wherever we
In
are.
Fort Myers, you better. Sonia, try Belvedere. I have tried Belvedere organic. I actually have tried that. And number one, it burns. Like it's like setting my throat on fire with a
Well, you're not
match.
supposed to shoot vodka.
But no, I'm not shooting vodka.
How does it set your throat on fire?
You will not go back to Grey Goose. So I don't know what it is. This is so funny that we're on work comp
She
talking
gets
about
super
Grey
headaches,
Goose.
like big, massive, giant headaches if it's not Grey Goose.
I have tried almost every vodka. I used to be a Budweiser girl, so it was my job to taste different vodkas.
Hold on, just pause. She was a Bud girl and a college cheerleader. So, like, I'm not saying I hit the jackpot. I'm just saying, like.
Anyways, so
Maybe.
I've tried all of the vodka, literally all of the vodka, even the cheapy ones. And this Grey Goose is the only one that I could wake up or have something and nothing ever happened to me. The end. That's it about liquor.
Let me just be.
Come to our podcast. I'll be talking on there.
Yeah, look, Jeannie's not actually a drinker, so we're all talking about like this. She doesn't drink. If she has one drink in a week, that's a lot. So she's not a drinker. But when she drinks anything other than Grey Goose, it hurts her.
Yeah. Denise, I have on my FLA paperwork that it was work related. I can't log on to eComp due to their verification process. That I don't know. Did you sign up with eComp? Like, I don't know what the problem is.
So there's like 2 screens you have to do to sign up. I'm not sure what your issue is, but we'd be happy to help you. If you send us a message, I can get one of my employees to walk you through it. They can do a screen share with you and walk you through it. We're happy to help.
And here's another thing I wanted to put out there. I know a lot of you have been like messaging me, why isn't it Gini answering the phone? Let me tell you something. Having 100 calls a day is a lot.
Day, actually.
It's a small day. I mean, like I'd have to go back. So we outsourced to an employee that handles the 877 number.
We didn't outsource it. We just
gave it to her. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions and want to speak to a live person, you can still call 877-787-OWCP. And that Claudia, sweet little girl, will answer the phone and she knows her stuff. So you're welcome to call when you want to speak to somebody live. Now, if there's something in particular you want to talk to Chris and I, you can let her know, or you can always message me
on Facebook.
And I'm the one that answers the messages.
Yeah, Gini answers 100% of Facebook messages. Let me tell you how I know. Because in a typical day where the sun's up, I can't even get her to look at me because she's in her phone.
I want to make sure you guys are taken care of.
She's all day long in her phone, so you can message.
Maria said, we're a lot famous. Well, you're so cute.
We love you, Maria.
Debbie said, I steal people from other wannabe OWCP pages.
I saw that one. Thank you, Debbie.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Penny, how are you? Any reviews on the St. Louis office, FIC? I was thinking of transferring there from Chicago, FIC, since it's 6 hours away. St. Louis would be less than 2. I just hate giving up the Chicago office. They're so amazing. Thank you for everything you do. So, no, they're really good.
So Dr. Archeleo's like, he's my guy. He's in Chicago.
He's awesome. But Kendra Pearson, she's a little bad. So, you know what?
But I do want to say,
she's awesome.
Me and Dr. Archileo speak the same language. So he's somebody that I really, really like and appreciate. He likes and appreciates me too. But Dr. Pearson is a freaking killer. It's your choice.
Yeah.
You decide. And when we had dinner with her and Troy, like I was like, holy crap. I left there going, these are the right people.
She's so cute. She's tiny, but she is fire when it comes to OWCP.
So you can make any choice you want. Yeah. We allow you to go anywhere you want to go. It's your right. So don't feel bad about it. You won't be treated worse if you go to St. Louis. Trust me, it'll all be good.
And it's all the same thing is going to happen. What you went from Chicago, if you go to St. Louis, it's the same thing.
And Dr. Archileo and Dr. Pearson know each other.
Yeah.
So it's not.
So yeah, you're still within the FIC circle.
Nobody's hurt by this.
Sonia, Chris, if your union doesn't send out notifications about upcoming meetings via mail or email, what else are we to do? Local 310 MHS is awful. Aw.
Can you read that again? I'm not. Just one more time.
She said, if your if your union doesn't send out notifications about upcoming meetings via mail or email, what else are we to do? Local 310 MHS
Oh,
is awful.
so my answer is get in there and tell them you want them to send out these notifications.
There's
Get
a lot of
involved.
things where they can like do like a blast through email, through social media, through text messaging.
Yeah, but the main thing is, and I say this all the time, the reason in the beginning I only went to meetings where there was 12 people is most people are not involved. Your question is so perfect. Get involved and tell them what you want, because they
Yeah.
often don't know what you want until you tell them.
I swear to God, I'm going to start my own union. It's going to be called the Chris and Junior Union, and we're going to have everybody
Association.
Chris and Junior Association, since we're not a union.
The CGA.
Yeah, so we might be.
Who would
planning
like
that.
to be part of the CGA?
If you want to be the part of the CGA association with Chris and Jeannie instead of
It's
your
not
union,
CGA Association. Now you just made it CGAA.
oh, give us some hearts.
The Chris and Jeannie Association, CGA.
All right, TT.
I think that just happened.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. You guys want that? Let me see some likes and hearts if you want that.
CGA Facebook page.
CGA. TT. The comp nurse was going with me and told the doctor comp would refuse surgery.
Maybe, but that's the doctor's decision.
Oh, we're getting some hearts. We're getting some hearts. Look at all that.
CGA, let's go. The Chris and Jeannie Association. Look, Jerry's in.
Our association, like AKA union, would be so fun and so educational.
Okay, let's be clear. There'd be almost no business handled at the local meetings and the monthly meetings. We wouldn't actually do.
We'd have bourbon and Sonia with her vodka.
All right, CGA, Chris and Jeannie Association, coming soon. Coming to an area near you. We really should. That'd be fun.
That would.
And we'll do it by Zoom.
Debbie said, oh, you're talking to TT. I have a torn rotator cuff at a 99% bicep tear. I don't know if you guys know that Chris jacked up. We went snowmobiling.
It still works.
And he decided to sit. Here's the thing. When you fall off a snowmobile, you just fall into the powder. It's okay.
I think it's stupid to fall off. Don't fall off. Don't crash the machine.
But he decided, and the machine wasn't going to get crashed in 2 feet of snow.
I didn't crash it.
And he decided to use his arm with this machine that's more than 300 pounds.
It worked.
And push himself up. And he has a torn tricep at 50% torn tricep.
2.5 centimeters retracted into my arm. It still works. It's fine. But here's the main point. Don't crash snowmobiles.
But here's the bigger point.
All my sons crashed, and I could make fun of them. She crashed. I can make fun of her. I didn't. But I could have. But I didn't. And then our oldest son comes up to me. He's like, hey, Chris, are you going to quit? I was like, no. I rode 90 more minutes and rode horses the next day.
So 12 weeks later, here's my point to this.
Haven't had surgery yet.
If you have something like that where something is 99% torn,
the soonest possible time to do anything is now.
You should be fighting to find out why the specialist can't see you. That narrative has to say why you need to have surgery immediately. 99% torn. I mean, I told you I don't want back surgery, but if that was my issue where my bicep or tricep is torn at 99%, even 50%, I am not waiting. I am going, and I'm going to fight till I get to have surgery.
So she's right. Don't be like me. In the morning, I can't even push myself out of bed. I can do this, but I can't push anything. So don't be like me. Get the help you need.
Cindy, Chris might want to try Dusa Cognac. Really smooth. Jeannie might like it. Chris likes bourbon. He might like it. So here's the thing, Cindy.
How do we get off on this topic?
I know. It's so cute. I'm not a drinker, period. I have 2 drinks I drink.
Me either.
A lemon drop martini and a pomegranate martini.
I'm drinking air.
And I may have Malibu pineapple and cranberry. That is it. You'll never see me try anything else. Although,
it's a child's drink.
Although, Maria, I know you're on here still. I definitely love pistachio martinis, but that thing is strong AF. That's all I have to say. But I like it a little sweeter. Anyway, but I've tried cognac and it is not for me.
All right, so we're like 10 minutes over. And do we have other workers' comp questions?
No.
I want to answer all those. I like the bourbon talk because it's fun, but you should not.
I said that, Maria.
Don't go to work drunk. I always say don't go to work drunk and high, so don't do that. We're not talking about that here. And get help today. The soonest possible time to do anything is now. Don't be like me and wait 6 or 8 weeks to get your tricep fixed. Go ahead and do that today. It's probably in your best interest. And the other thing is tell your friends, because here we are. Now I'm getting serious again. We're here. We're having fun tonight, but we're here to help you with your OWCP issues. Whatever problems you're having tonight, you should not have tomorrow. Nobody else wants to help you. Almost nobody else cares about you, but we do. We genuinely love you.
I'm
And
really
I hope, I'm sorry, I hope you've seen that we actually really do love you.
We
Like,
do. No, seriously. Like we have tears. Like whenever we go to an open house and we see all these people are like, "Oh, can I get a selfie with you?" And I'm like, okay."
that's so, like,
We go back to the hotel and literally we're like humbled and sometimes in tears. I'm not gonna lie. Even his eyes water up. We're like,
but
"Holy cow!" These people are
like Jerry's here
you know,
tonight. I mean, Jerry, we love her. And Tammy, love you so much. Scott, love you so much. I mean, that's a real thing. You're not going to find this someplace else. You know, you can find doctors who just want to make money. What you have here is family. And this is a group of family. Like,
yeah,
we all help each other. This is a network of people that are working together to help each other. And we lead the charge, but like, you're all doing this for each other as well.
yeah.
And that's what you're here for. So, welcome to Wednesday night OWCB chats with Chris and Gini. If this is your first night, and we're not here every week, but we get here as often as we can. And join the Chris and Genie Association later.
I'm
CGA.
seriously. I'm gonna talk to. We're gonna be going in the hot tub after this, and I'm gonna literally talk about this because now this is on my mind because I've been thinking about this for quite a long time. Jenna, if my ortho recommends an epidural injection for my back leg pain, am I obligated to get it? If I refuse, will that mess up my comp?
No, you can refuse treatment. You don't have to do anything the doctor recommends. You can do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But just know there's the result of your decisions may not always be good.
Yeah.
But if it's good for you, that's good enough.
Victor, we're not going to get into that. Terry, Chris and Genie Association, LMAO, works for me. Bourbon, Grey Goose, etc., and great discussions. LOL. Forget USPS Union. Then you guys can collect their union dues as well as Goose.
So as in all things, we don't want your money. We just want your friendship and your
So
love.
our association, when I say association with quotes, I'm saying union. Our
Very
association
loose.
will not have dues. This is a come if you want, come chit chat with Chris and Jeannie after hours. That's what we're gonna do.
All right, we're gonna wrap up, but I do
Yeah.
want to say one thing. Jerry said, "Give Gizmo a belly rub for me." Absolutely, Ellie will get hers too. Trust me, she will demand it. She'll demand it. All right. Thank you for all your questions tonight. I hope that I was helpful. I hope she was helpful, but mostly I hope I was helpful.
Although he's got stumped the chump once.
That didn't happen. Come back next week. Come back next week. We'll do it again. But I do want to say this: a special shout out. We didn't say this in the beginning.
A special shout out.
Just let me do what I'm going to do.
Can I say the name of the agency?
No.
Yes, I'm going to.
No. So a special shout out to Larry, who is my new best friend. If any of you have seen the movie Step Brothers, and where Will Ferrell and the other guy who's got the funny hair says, I don't know why I know his name, but whatever. He goes, "Did we just become best friends?" And they said, "Yes." Well, that happened with me and Larry. We had bourbon and cigars last week.
Yes. And Jill.
And
shout out to Jill, my girl.
But Larry is the ex-president and a current officer in what organization?
It is with the
You better get it right.
FLEOA,
Which
Federal
means?
Law Enforcement Officers Association.
And so we're so excited about this because
we are.
It's not a union, and I wanted it to be so bad, but he said we're an association. But what they do is they represent law enforcement, federal firefighters across the country. 130,000 people they represent in 60 some odd agencies and multiple, like an insane number of states.
65 agencies under them.
Yeah, and so Jeannie and I were able to have dinner and cigars with Larry and Jill, and it was, I think, a game changer for all of us because this is a group of people who are way underrepresented.
Oh yeah,
way underrepresented.
They have about 130,000 total,
and insanely underrepresented, like most of you. And so I just want to give a special shout out to Larry and his group because we have decided to take them on as family, just the way we have you. And now is our point in life to get their claims accepted too, because God knows they're getting hurt because they fight for a living.
Yeah.
So just like the postal employees, the VA nurses, the TSA agents, and
AFGE in general,
everybody there, we have a new group that we're happy to be able to help. And we're all better off for it because these people they put their lives on
Yeah.
the line to protect the rest of us. So, anyways, I wanted to say hi to Larry and to Fleo,
Larry,
and thank you for trusting us. Everybody,
David, Matt.
every
Yeah.
federal law enforcement officer with a badge and a gun trusts Federal Injury Center.
Yeah.
So maybe you should too.
And we are one of their top sponsors.
We're their top sponsor.
Yeah, we are. So let me let you guys know. Yes, major shout out to Larry and Jill. Thank you guys so much for flying into Florida and coming down and wanting to meet Chris and I. That we were very humbled with that, and we appreciate it. And we plan to help every single one of your injured members. If that's what you want to say.
Nobody gets a denied claim
No.
without us fighting for them ever again.
Next week is the 23rd. I know a lot of you, and I see the other questions. A lot of you are asking, what is MMI? What is Schedule Award? We're going to be talking about that next week. Now, let me remind you and tell you, a lot of you start going, how much do I get for my arm? Why isn't the back
I'm not going to
covered?
answer that question next week.
We will not answer what can I get for my leg or my arm or my head or my back. We're going to just give you what you need to know
and tell you who you can talk to get those answers.
Go from there. We have a couple of attorneys that you're welcome to call. We have no affiliation with them, but
they'll
this
talk
is
to you
what
for
they
free.
do. They will talk to you for free, and we'll go from there. But we're going to explain what MMI is, what a Schedule Award is, because a lot of you still message me and ask, why do I need to get a Schedule Award? So we will tell you all of that next week. So if any of you have friends that are wanting to know what a Schedule Award and what MMI is all about, have them tune in next Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Same bat time, same bat channel. And if you're my age, you know what that means.
Yeah.
All right. So look, everyone, thank you so much for being here. We love you. We appreciate your continued following of us. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, don't forget to follow us on our podcast, Breaking OWCP, and also go follow the Hot House with Richie Ray, NALC president, that gives you some really great news.
What's Richie Ray's deal?
Hot House.
Hot House.
I love. If you guys ever see Rich and me banter at each other, it's true love. He is a great friend of ours, and he is a magnificent and beyond NALC
he is
local
an
president.
NALC powerhouse. Go follow the Hot House.
Go follow the Hot House. It's
with Richie Ray.
It doesn't matter what craft you're in. You need to go follow
If
that.
you're not listening, you're losing. So go follow him.
See you guys next week. Same time, same place.
Good night. Never
Bye,
give up.